Marshmallow Sheep Knitting Podcast. My name is Zoe, and I'm so excited you decided to stop by again. I can't wait to hang out with you. So, let's get into it. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today, but I also have a good bit to talk about today. So, we'll see how long this is. I have no idea. I'm still trying to play around with length, but we'll figure it out. Also, speaking of, I am so sorry for all of the wobble in my last episode. I was messing around with how I was laying out my projects and things, and I put stuff on my table that I've got my phone on, and every time I picked it up it shook the camera a bunch, and I'm sorry. We're not doing that anymore. But yeah, that's the only thing admin-wise I wanted to go over. Anyway, so starting off, I don't have any finished objects, which kind of sucks because I was really hoping that I would have one of these done in time for today, but I don't because I didn't want to stay up till 2 a.m. working on it. So I only stayed up till 1 a.m. working on it, so it's fine. But anyway, I'll start with that. That is just jumping right into whips. I have made so much progress on my 8 days a week sweater. You guys, I'm so freaking proud of myself and I'm so freaking excited. Honestly, the words don't exist to describe how excited I am to be done with this thing. I will try to get everything in the shot, but it's so big. So first of all, I believe last time I had not finished the cowl. I have finished the cowl. So now, when you flip it down, we've got a completed cowl. We've got completed cables on the completed cowl. How exciting is that? We have both sleeves. Sleeve number 1. Sleeve number 2. And we have almost an entire body. I've just got 3 more repeats of the cable for the bottom ribbing, and then it's gonna be done. I'm so excited, because for those of you just tuning in, this is the sweater that I have been working on for a year and a half. This is the sweater that I'm making for my wife Kylie. It started off as a completely different cabled pullover. I found out that I don't like bottom-up sweaters because they're evil and I suck at them. And so then it was in timeout for a while, and then it's been slowly being knit up into this one. I had her try it on yesterday before I started the ribbing, and oh my god, she looks so cute in it. She looks so cute in this sweater. I'm so excited for it to be done so she can wear it, because it's still only February, so she can still wear it because Colorado has weird winters that are actually springs, but it's fine. I'm so excited. The only weird thing we've got going on now is this cowl. Well, it is completed. It is lovely. It doesn't stand up the way we were expecting it to, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. So, because right on the pictures, it's a little bit flat, but it's still got, normally cowl necks that kind of they turtleneck a little bit, right? This one doesn't. It just splays out into this collar thing, which is cute, but it's not at all what we were expecting, So I don't know. Once again, I talked to my folks in midnight, and they suggested doing a crochet line somewhere in the back here to try to pull it in somehow. I don't know how that works. But I'll give it a shot once it's done, I guess, because I really want her to be able to wear it and like it. And she likes everything about it except for this part, which is the focal point of the sweater. So I'm a little bit bummed about that. But theoretically there is a way to fix it. So we will fix it when the time is right. But yeah, I'm so freaking excited for this to be done so I can move on with my life. And actually it's kind of funny. One of the place where we went to get this yarn is a little yarn shop in Colorado Springs called You and Me, a Yarn Boutique. And we don't go there very often because Colorado Springs is a little far away from me. It's about an hour away. But that's where we got this yarn originally, a year and a half ago. And today, this afternoon, my family's going down to Colorado Springs, and they're just like, oh, we can stop by that yarn shop. And I was like, okay. So we're going down there, and I was so excited because I wanted this to be done so that Kylie could wear it to the shop that the yarn came from and be just like, hey, a year and a half ago you sold me this, and now look, it's finished. But that's not gonna happen this time, and I'm kind of bummed, but it's fine. It's fine. I just want it to be done so bad. I want it to be done so bad. Anyway, talking about it not being done is not going to get it done any faster. So once this podcast is finished filming, I'm gonna get my ass in gear and I'm gonna get this thing done, and it's gonna be the best. And I said I wouldn't wobble anymore, and I think I just wobbled. Oh my god. Sorry. Anyway. Okay, hold on, let me put this back because it's a giant lump of sweater now. It needs to go back in its sack. So that's my 8 days a week pullover. And again, links to all of the patterns I talk about will be in the description below. Look at me sounding like a YouTuber. Next thing, I have my 2 socks that I was working on. So I'm going to start with my Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern, because your girl's got a finished sock. Look at it. Look at it. It's all done. It's finished. I don't own sock blockers. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, it's done, and I'm so freaking happy with it. I decided to do just the little shorty sock mid, just above the ankle length. I think there's a term for this, but I can't remember what it is now. So I could wear it with my Mary Janes and it wouldn't like fall down a bunch, hopefully. And then I've got of course, my giant paddle feet, because I've got size 11 or 12 women's, depending on the shoe brand. So it looks a little funky right now, but hopefully when it's got its brother, then I will have the coziest socks in the world, because they're so freaking cozy. So I've got that one done, and I've started on the second. I'm about halfway down the shortened leg of the second. It's so pretty, you guys. I love this colorway so much. But yeah, I'm really excited. And you know, the funny thing is I got these, I started making these because I wanted to have something cozy to wear while I was working from home. I'm not working from home anymore. They called me back into the office. And I'm a little bummed that I didn't get to wear them while I was working from home, but we did just have a snow day where we worked from home. So hopefully we'll have some more stupid giant snows and I can stay home and wear my cozy socks when they're done. I'm very excited about this. Yeah, not a whole lot to say on this. Again, it's Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern, a classic, delightful. I love it. I love it so much. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad I at least got a half finished object to show you, because like I honestly thought I was going to have both of them done for this podcast, but that didn't happen. It was really funny, like the day or two after I posted the last episode, I just got into like this knitting funk where I had absolutely no mojo whatsoever. And like just even the thought of picking up my needles, just like my arms felt so heavy. And they're just like, we don't wanna. And I'm like, oh my god, am I losing my knitting mojo 2 weeks after like starting a knitting podcast? Is this real life? Is this how I die? I was so mad. And I think me being mad helped contribute to why I was like, it went on for so long, because it lasted for like 3 days, and I was like, I'm not gonna get anything done. But I didn't get anything done, but you know, I did do a fair bit of knitting, and I think it's important to remind myself, you did knitting, you did good, you're not dying, you're fine. Says the girl with anxiety. So like, you know, I have to tell myself that a lot. I have to tell myself I'm not dying quite frequently. But anyway, so that's this. Oh, another thing. I got this project bag as a gift from one of my work friends when she left the office to go to another office in our company. And it was super sweet, and I was like, oh my god, it's got llamas and yarn on it. I love it so much. Or I guess an alpaca probably. And I didn't know where it came from. And then last week, I learned that this is from Hobby Lobby. And I'm like, oh no, because I really don't like Hobby Lobby because of everything about me. Um, I'm not gonna get too super political into it. If you don't know what's up with Hobby Lobby, they're kind of a mess of a company. But I try not to shop there. And I didn't technically shop there when I got this because my friend got it for me, and she's not a crafter, so I doubt she knows anybody's craft store alliances or anything like that. But I'm just kind of like, oh dang, because it's super cute. I'm not gonna stop using it. I'm not gonna stop using it. It was a gift. I like it. It's fine. But I am kind of just like, now whenever I take this out in public, people who know it's Hobby Lobby are gonna be like, ah, she shops at Hobby Lobby too. We are alike, you and I, and we're not. Generally, we're not alike. So I feel a little bit weird about that. I don't know. Has that ever happened to any of y'all? Where you're just like, you get a gift and then you find out where it's from and you're just like, awkward. But I've had this for like a year now, so I'm not going to stop using it because it's a perfect size for my socks. So Hobby Lobby can suck it, basically. Anyway, tangent aside, last thing is my, oh my god. I said, oh, I don't need to write the patterns down. I remember the patterns. What was this called? Rita Socks. My Rita Socks. There we go. It came to me. Thank you, brain. In fairness to me, I woke up like 30 minutes ago, so don't judge me too hard. So I've got my Rita Socks for my friend Tamar. Got one of them done. Again, only one. But it came out so good. Just like, look at that. Pretty diamond texture. I'm so freaking pleased by this sock, and it's actually kind of funny because she wanted a longer leg and she has shorter feet than me, so I feel like I made opposite socks to my Hermione socks. I don't know if that's funny to anybody but me, but I thought it was kind of funny when I finished and saw what I'd done. I was like, oh. So I've got one of them done, which is a huge accomplishment because this is where I stopped the last time I tried to make these socks with that really crappy metallic yarn. And I vowed at that point that I wasn't going to knit this pattern ever again. I proved myself a liar because I did knit it again. And not only did I knit it again, I, if I can find it, started on sock number 2. I've got just a little cuff. Just a little cuff. But the cuff is done, so I've completed step 1 of these socks, and that I think is very exciting. Also, that's just a thing that I think is very helpful when you are knitting socks. If you struggle with like second sock syndrome or anything like that. Excuse me. If you struggle with second sock syndrome or anything like that, I find it helpful to, once I finish the first sock, immediately cast on the second one, like within the same sitting, just so that way your brain can't be just like, but then I have to cast on and I don't wanna, and blah, 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 blah. All those things your brain tells you when it doesn't want to do something. If you just immediately cast on the second sock, then at least you can go, well, I've already started the cuff, so I can keep going, you know? Life tip, if anybody doesn't already do that. That might be common knowledge, I don't know. But anyway, so I have started the cuff. The reason I have not gotten farther on it, aside from the aforementioned loss of knitting mojo, is because it's kind of frustrating. To work on this sock, I have to have at least an hour and a half of uninterrupted time because it's broken up into like 18 row repeats for the lace, for the diamond pattern. And I don't like, how do I say this? I don't like putting it down mid-repeat because I'll forget. And I know I only have one stitch counter. I only have one row counter. And currently it's being used for the sweater. So I'm just like, I have to do a chunk of it in one sitting so at least I can know where I stopped. And it's worked fine. I mean, I got through the first sock just like that. But I find it hard to find time to have an hour and a half of uninterrupted time to work on this guy. Because it's, it's a big chunk of time. And like with the other ones, I can just go whenever because the Hermione sock is only a 4-row. I know how to count. A 4-row repeat. And then the sweater doesn't have any repeats except for the ones I just started, but that's why it's using the row counter, so that's fine. But yeah, so I'll get through it. I will complete these. I will complete these socks. They will be completed. It'll be fine. I just need to get stuff done first. I definitely want to get the sweater finished first because it's so close. And I mean, Tamara's been waiting for these socks for a year anyway, so like, they're not going anywhere. Yet. They will eventually go somewhere. So anyway, that's all my whips. My three whips for today. So I'm gonna take a quick break and gather some acquisitions. That's the word. I wasn't gonna go to the yarn shop this weekend. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have any acquisitions. It's gonna be a really short episode. We went to the yarn shop yesterday and we're going again today. Pray for my wallet. Anyway, I'll be right back. So, for acquisitions, yes, I remember the word. I've got a few things. I didn't do too bad of a job, but in fairness to my wallet, I also wasn't supposed to buy anything, so maybe I did a bad job. I don't know how you want to quantify that. But I was like, oh, well, we're going, because Piney Creek, my yarn shop, is on kind of the opposite side of my town, so I don't go there too often. But my wife wanted to go to a secondhand bookstore, and it's like a block away from Piney Creek, so I'm like, well, if we're going all the way over there, then can I also get some yarn? She's like, yeah, we can get some yarn. I'm like, And I told her, I'm just like, I don't need to get anything. I'm just gonna look, I don't have any projects that I need yarn for right now. I've got everything kind of squared away, but I just want to look. And she's like, okay, you just want to look. Sure, Jan. And she was right. I totally bought like a bunch of stuff. But so to start with, where I went downhill basically was for that. I think I told you last time about wanting to make that hitchhiker shawl out of that red yarn that's right back there, right up top. So Kylie likes shawls that have beads in them. And so I'm like, oh, well, I have still like, I think a half a canister of these like gunmetal seed beads to put on it. So that should be fine. I can make that work. And then when I went to Piney Creek, they had another canister of the seed beads. So it was the last one. It's the last canister. So I'm just like, I have to get that because I don't want to have a situation like the last shawl I made her and I need to have like 17 things of beads. So I should probably just get this one. And so then I had this in my hand and I'm like, well, I'm already getting this. Maybe I can get some other things. But yeah, so for anybody who likes beads, here's a close-up of it. They're really pretty. They're Miyuki size 6 seed beads in the color Opaque Luster Black. They're kind of like a gunmetal, kind of blacky gray. They look super pretty in shawls. So I got those. And then I was wandering around, as one does, and I saw these two bad boys. And I've been on a bit of a green kick, and I was like, ooh, that's a really pretty shade of green. I don't have anything that I need green DK yarn for right now, but I like it. And then I was looking at them, and they are West Yorkshire Spinners Fleece 100% British Wool Blueface Leicester. And just look at it. Just look at it. It's freaking gorgeous. The light, I'm still trying to figure out the lighting here. It's that tip looks a little bit more like what it actually is. It's a lot warmer green than it's showing up right now. It's kind of looking like a dark foresty green, but there's a little bit of yellow in this. That looks closer to it. So I was like, oh, that's really pretty, and it's West Yorkshire Spinners, so it's not super expensive. And Piney Creek is the only place in my state that sells West Yorkshire Spinners. So, like, it's kind of a rare yarn. So I should totally get it, right? Because, like, what if they don't have it next time? But then I'm like, what am I going to do with one skein of DK? That doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I should get two. Just so I can do something. I was bad. But I was seriously considering getting all 5 skeins. Because I'm like, then I could really do something. But no, that would still be expensive. That'd be super expensive. And 5 skeins of DK weight still isn't going to do a whole lot for me, you know? Like if I need to make a sweater, I normally need at least 17,000 yards of something. Just generally, that's kind of like my minimum I've found, depending on cables or lace or whatever. So I know 2 skeins of DK is not going to make me a garment. I've accepted that. But it might make me a cool shawl, maybe? I don't know. I don't normally like knitting shawls, but I've been kind of hankering for a shawl lately, so might do that. But yeah, so I got these, and then I was holding these in my hand with this, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'll keep looking up just to see, just to see. I should have stopped. I should have stopped there, but I didn't, and I got these. I actually saw these like right when I first came into the store because Piney Creek has like their bulky stuff right up front, and it gets thinner as you go back, which is a kind of an interesting system. I don't know if that's how other stores do it, but I kind of like that it's a gradient of sizes. But anyway, so I found these and just look at that gorgeous, gorgeous kind of purpley reddy color. A little bit of black in there. Ah, it's delightful. And so these are Plymouth Yarn Ariado, I believe is how you pronounce that. It is a bulky weight, and it's kind of like a blown through yarn, it's like a little chainette and then it's got fluff coming out of it. So this is 70% baby alpaca, 7% merino, and 23% nylon, which I think is the chain. And it's so soft. Oh my god, it's so soft. And like, I really need to stop planning to make things for Kylie because Kylie doesn't wear a lot of the things that I knit her. She and I have very different tastes in clothes. Like her taste versus my abilities are kind of mismatched. But I want to make her things. I want to make her everything because I want to deck her out in gifts and stuff because I love her and she's the best. But anyway, back to the yarn. So I was like, ooh, this is a colorway that Kylie really likes. This is a yarn that I really like. Wouldn't it be nice to make like a big loose fluffy cowl out of this? So again, I got two just because, you never know. But this is actually like, it's a pretty good hang. It's like 283 yards per 100 grams for bulky. That's pretty good, I think. So I got two just in case I need to make something like really loose and cozy. But I think this is destined to be a cowl for her. And I'm very excited because it's so nice. It's so freaking nice. But yeah. So I got all these. From I'm not buying anything to 4 skeins of yarn and some beads. I mean, it's not the worst. Like, I've definitely spent more at once in a yarn shop. And honestly, the West Yorkshire Spinners was pretty cheap. I think it was only 16 skeins. $16 a skein. So in the grand scheme of like bougie yarn, that's nothing. So I thought that was interesting. And that's what I got from my yarn shop. Those are my acquisitions for today. So going into just general life updates and things, I am back in the office. It has been a little tough. Excuse me. There are some people I really don't like in my office. And it's kind of hard to sit with them all the time. And I really miss not having to deal with that. I normally just sit there and listen to knitting podcasts or something on my phone all day. But like my ears get tired of having headphones in them 8 hours a day, So it's kind of annoying. But I'm living. It's fine. Other than that, like I said, I've got anxiety, and I actually just started medication for the first time. So I kind of feel a little bit proud of myself because that's something that I've been afraid to do for a while because I hear all these like bad things about side effects of SSRIs and everything like that. But I've been on it for about 2 weeks and I think I'm pretty fine. I also haven't noticed that much of a difference, which kind of sucks. But like The only thing is I've just had like a little bit of nausea, which I think is like bearable as far as anxiety medication side effects go. So that's cool. That actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that might have been the reason why I had a drop in Knitting Mojo, because I started that medicine like 2 days after the last podcast went up. And that's when I had the drop. That might be it, actually. That actually might have been the problem. Oops. That's okay. I'm back now. We're good. No problems. So that's going well. And let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's really much else going on. I will definitely let y'all know if I get anything at the Colorado Springs yard store, which I don't know. I probably shouldn't because I just got all this, but like I wanna maybe. I don't know. I don't know what they have. They might not have anything I want. You never know. You never know with yarn stores, so it's fine. But anyway, I guess I'll sign off there. This is probably going to be a good deal shorter than the last two, which maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I don't know. What do y'all think of length? Because I normally like watching really long podcasts, but I didn't have a lot to talk about this time, so oh well. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the episode. If you have any questions, if you have anything you want to see from me, I will be putting in my Instagram. I did get one request for that, so I will honor your request, madame, no worries. And then, yeah, just thanks again for coming back and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you next week, so bye.